What is up, y'all? Steve here. Welcome back to my channel. We're going over your rental car fleet and how to make it run as smoothly as possible. Today, I'm gonna let you guys know how I went from 0 to 7 cars in a matter of a couple months. Now, this isn't gonna be one of those, hey, get rich quick things. It's just how I did it. So you guys are welcome to your own ways, how you wanna do it. And I know some of you guys have well exceeded what you've done. I'm just kind of showing you what I'm doing right here. So let's get into it. Okay, so me personally, I wanted this fleet. I didn't want a very big fleet. I definitely wanted to scale this in a good, obtainable way. I know you can go much quicker. It's all about how much you want to put into it. Now for me, I got 7 cars listed right now. I will tell you that, one of which, this Jeep, is listed, but most likely it's not gonna rent just because the price is so high, so I'm using it for personal use. And I do have a few other cars that are definitely just crushing it right now. And if you guys are wanting to get into this, definitely check below. I got free consultations coming up. The link is down below. There's a course down there. Whatever you guys need, whatever you want to do to try and help grow everything the way you need to. Just know that these consultations, I get extremely busy. I got the family to take care of and everything, my own personal fleet and everything, my day-to-day stuff going. So just know, if you guys sign up for this, I basically don't want to be wasting either one of our times together. Other than that, let's get into the 7 cars that I got. So I started off right off the bat with my Honda Civic. This car is a car that I've owned. It was my daily commuter for years. And I just said, you know what, let's throw it on there, let's see what happens. First week that it was on there, it booked within a matter of a couple hours and it was gone for the rest of the month. Yes, it was only a week, but it was gone for the rest of the month. Next month, it was booked solid for the 27 days out of the 30 days. Couldn't ask for anything better, and just kept going. So after that, I decided to end up adding another car, which ended up being my Ford Focus. And actually during that month, I added 2 cars. One was a car that I brokered out. It was somebody I was talking to. They were interested in what Turo was all about. The fact that I knew a little bit about it and was able to do all this, he was just like, hey, let me throw a car at it. I'm gonna go buy a car specifically for this. That's how I ended up with 3 cars within the first month. Kind of ridiculous. It's great, I know. It could be worse, it could be better, but I'm trying to scale this in a way that I can manage it. For me personally, I made sure anytime I was scaling, I was using money that was being produced from another vehicle to start up. So not a whole lot out of pocket, but it definitely takes a little risk, a little strategy, a little reward, and you can be well on your way. So this gave us the 3 cars, the Civic, the Forte, the Focus. So I let this run for a full month. The Forte booked right off the bat, a month straight. The Focus was gone. I think it was the same as the Civic. It ended up booking for 25 days, and I'll have to go back in through and double check all this. So the utilization was amazing for these cars. And of course, this was when everything was hot. Everything's still doing pretty well right now. All my cars are currently out. It was doing very well. So after month 2, or actually the first full month, I decided to get 2 more cars. Now, the next car that I ended up getting, I got the Mazda 6. The Mazda 6 ended up going out, and this thing, it does very well. I really love this car. There's some upgrades that I need to do to it, but once again, using the profits from the other cars to gain another car. That way it's nothing out of pocket. I'm not using a whole lot of my savings to worry about all this stuff. I will tell you I did use credit. I got my LLC set up, and I'll give you guys a video on how I set up my LLC and how you can too, but realistically it all works out for however you guys want to do it, because I'm not a financial advisor or an attorney to tell you how to do this right, just tell you how I did it. Neither here nor there. I got the Mazda using the money from the other cars. Yes, it is still on my credit. As long as everything goes well, my credit goes well too. If you guys aren't able to do this with your own personal credit, like I said, go back and broker out people's cars. You can make money that way. That's a good side hustle, and they're able to pay off their car or make the payment if it's sitting. So there's that route you can go with it too. Now, each time that I did this, I put a decent down payment on it, so that way I wasn't negative in the car, so that way if something does happen, I don't have to worry about gap, or I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. You can get gap for these cars. Make sure you're doing this right, you're buying under market value, and you're just doing everything you can to make this run as smoothly as possible. I will tell you, I'm not huge on over leveraging your personal credit. That's not the way I would recommend going about this. That being said, you guys do what you're gonna do what you feel comfortable with. Just kind of telling you how it goes for me. Now for me personally, I was using personal credit. I had to back the LLC because the LLC had such baby credit, I had to back it. So of course, it still shows up on my credit. It does kind of suck if you decided you want to buy a house or anything like that. Enough about that. Okay, so that brought us to the 4 cars. The Focus, the Civic, the Forte, and the Mazda. So that got us to where we're at. And then I got to the point where I started looking at cars. There's multiple ways you can go about buying cars. You can go through Facebook Marketplace, you can go through Craigslist, OfferUp, dealerships, whatever you want. Now, the Mazda, it went through a separate dealership that was kind of in the, it wasn't a buy here, pay here, but it was definitely in that area. So it was a little bit more, I just won't say the quality of some of the other cars. It's definitely not the Civic or the Forte by any means, or the Focus. It's an older car, and I think that's the biggest thing about it. We'll just go with that. It's just an older car. But regardless, that was the 4th car. So then I started looking at dealerships and just said, you know what? Any car that's 10,000 and below, let's check that out. With that filter, even at a dealership, I was able to find 2 more cars that were under 10,000 and actually under 8,000. So that's where I ended up with my Hyundai Accent and my Ford Fiesta. Now, the Ford Fiesta is an amazing color blue. It's awesome. It's a party on wheels. But that's how I got to the Fiesta and the Accent. So that put me at 6 cars. And I was able to do this even going to the dealership. I used the same money that my business was making from Turo to put the down payment. Now I do get it. You guys are gonna be like, but you're losing all of your profits. You keep spending it all. Yes, I was in hyper growth mode. I was trying to get as many cars as possible, but with as little out of pocket as possible. So I was using everything that I earned from Turo to put it down on the next cars. And now that I'm at where I'm at, I'll put all those earnings towards paying off those cars. Like I said, side hustle, trying to make longevity out of this, not get rich quick. So this is where I got this 6 cars. And then I decided to go out and get this Wrangler. So the Wrangler was originally meant for the platform, okay? This thing, ended up buying it from a dealership, once again, a dealership, because I knew that they would do financing. I didn't have to go through the bank and try and do financing. So I went to the dealership, bought this car. Now we originally bought it for the platform. It's just a basic Jeep Wrangler, no options like that, nothing. Because when it comes down to it, a lot of these cars, people don't care about options, they just want the experience. Jeeps were one of those. Yes, of course. Do you want the Rubicon, the freaking everything fully loaded? Like, yeah, but when you're renting it, you just want the experience. You want to see what Jeeps are all about. Now, Jeep owners, they're going to own them, just like BMW, Lexus, all those things. People are going to own the cars that they want, and the cars that they want are going to have all the bells and whistles. When you're renting it, you just want the experience. You want to see what it's like, so you're kind of okay with it not having all the options. Regardless, that's neither here nor there. That's another video. So I got the Jeep, which put me at number 7. That put me at 7 cars. I rented it out for 2 weeks straight. As soon as I listed it, boom, it was gone. It was gone for 2 weeks, and then I decided, you know what? The market's really hot right now for trucks. I had a Chevy 3500, so I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and sell that. Ended up selling it for more than I paid for it 3 years ago, and did all right. It's kind of the market. But now I'm wondering, I'm like, I don't have a truck. It's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of miss having a truck. But now we are using the Jeep for the personal. So that's why I would say that I'm actually at 6 cars instead of the 7. But that's basically how I got to my cars. I made sure as I was growing this, I started rolling everything into the next car. So it's less money out of my pocket. It's still on my credit, but the goal is it's a side hustle. I'm going to be paying off these cars as soon as possible with the earnings that I have and making sure that I'm still maintaining what I have. And this is just my plan. You guys can do this totally different. You can do it however you want, but once again, I want these cars off my credit. There are other ways to do this. This isn't the only way to do it. There's multiple ways to do it. That's just how I went about it and how I was comfortable about it, because I know that my plan, my strategy, I will make sure it happens. And yes, I do know there's other strategies, and I know how to work those other strategies as well. That's basically it. That's how I grew from 0 to 7 cars on the Turo platform in a matter of 3 months. Yes, 3 months, and now they are all doing very well. They're all profitable, and at this point, I'm still making money as well as paying down cars quicker. My goal is by December, I have 3 to 4 of these cars paid off, and then at that point, I will reconsider how I'm gonna go about this, but I'll probably end up just throwing a whole bunch of money at other cars just to pay them down, and if not, saving some so where I can go buy cars cash, because ultimately I think that's the best way to do it, so that way you have very little overhead. Yes, it is nice to have 30, 40,000 just sitting in the bank at your disposal, but at the same time, if you're able to go put some money down or leverage that money on something else, that's ultimately what we're looking at. So that's a little bit about me and how I got to where I'm at. I will definitely drop a video shortly on how to scale the past fleet from 0 to 50 cars. But for right now, this is how I'm doing it. If you guys did way more cars than I have, congratulations, kudos to you. I would love to hear about how you did it, and if it's successful for you guys right now, how it's all working out. And I know you guys are out there crushing it. That's all there is to it. So once again, do all that stuff below. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Go out there, keep grinding, keep hustling, keep making that money, y'all. Later.